Hi everybody, I'm here at a coffee shop with my dear friend Bobo the Baboon. I'm trying to teach him proper English, like somehow he knows what everything means, he's just bad at speaking. Like watch this. Bobo, how do you spell Q? Oh yeah, that's right, both are correct. Now can you count to 5 in English? See, what am I supposed to do here? It shouldn't be that hard to learn a language. I mean, out of all the people that you might think would know Chinese, I know a decent amount of Chinese. Thankfully, we have technology to learn language quickly and easily nowadays. The only problem now? This freak of a mascot. So Duolingo is in fact used for teaching languages. You get all the funky fresh languages that exist across the world, and this is a decent way to learn a number of them. In more recent times though, the brand has developed a bit of an infamous main character, namely the green semi-cubic mascot. This is the Duolingo Owl. He goes by Duo. Now for a number of reasons, this owl's got a bit of a reputation, the most prominent one coming from users of Duolingo coming back to complete their lessons every day. This is simple enough. The owl provides users with a streak, and failure to comply within a 24-hour period for any reason will result in an immediate place on Duolingo's handy-dandy lovely little hit list. In this case, you have awakened the beast by failing to complete your deathly contract you have signed. You have nothing to blame besides your ignorance and your poor time management skills, and as such, you will be rewarded with an untimely death. Cowabummer. Obviously, there's a number of reasons for this, but when it comes to the evolution of the owl, the design has grown and changed across the decades. From left to right, we got Egyptian hieroglyph cave paintings of a sleep paralysis demon, then we got a creature about to go into rehab, post-rehab, and then corporate Memphis. I hate the modern vibe of it, not for what it is, but for what it's hiding. The world of Duolingo is a horrifying facade. The cutesy animated realm is where Duo keeps track of their user base using the most universal language of all, none. His actions speak significantly louder than words ever could. But the rest of these characters, yeah, no, they talk. They all know English, being extensions of different teachers of all kinds of different languages, and they all got their own separate character traits, own little attributes. But I'm being entirely honest. Miss Frizzle's class sweeps compared to these. I don't even want to call them characters. I don't even feel like it. These are simply a collection of template characters helped to push out the lessons. In the Duolingo world, they're essential, but in this uncovering, not so much. Of all of them, the most important ones are Falstaff, this grumpy old bear. If only for the reason he's a talking bear, this confirms that Duo is not the only animal with human-level intelligence. And then there's Lily, a purple-haired teenager who... No, that's it actually. One day while at work inspecting all the users completing their daily lessons, Duo spots a single streak being missed. And this situation, like the one indicated, where the downfall of the funny green square owl truly began. It falls into a panic and exhausts itself for a single streak. So minimal progress and so minimal results, only concluding with the most horrifying aspect of Duolingo being brought out. The mascot suits. See, there wouldn't be any issue if they stayed on the Google-friendly soft corporate design, where you get paid and experience, and everyone in the office is your work family. When Duo puts on his Iron Man suit, somebody's dying. Mascot suit Duo is an unfathomable horror. The mere sight of him makes people immediately complete their Duolingo streaks. There is a cult of these bird people. They have a swim team, and sometimes I would assume they take lives. This is what freaks me out the most. These are people who are chosen at random times, quite literally taken from their families' lives, simply to become a loyalist of the Duolingo church. Are they chosen at random? Is it selective? I don't know. Regardless, it's horrifying. To an extent, I feel like it's some sort of enslavement. It makes you think about how streaks as a whole function, because that's easily where the most concern lies. Duo pushes those who fail to meet the streak obligations, yet remove people from their lives for doing too good. It's most definitely a concern, and it makes me wonder about the side characters. When we look at them throughout their day-to-day lives, there is no concern. They are simply living their lives and educating viewers about certain cultural standards, like how in some Spanish-speaking countries, avocado is said differently, or how some text abbreviations in other countries exist, things like that. The main thing, though, that I spot when I look at these, however, is there are no green owls in sight. They're at peace when their feathery boss isn't around. To an extent, it's traumatizing. These horrible corporate Google basic art-shaped people are living in fear, and the most obvious indication comes from when we look at Lily. When you get a crowd of people in anything like this, there's gonna be some fan favorites, though the bias is a bit heavy. They hardly give some of these characters love. Like, if you held me at gunpoint and asked me who this was, I would say that's Eddie. I've been researching Duolingo for weeks. I think I know who Eddie is. But if you made me name who this was, I would say that's Zari. Again, I specifically trained myself. Objectively speaking, Lily is the most popular. And fellas, she's seen some shit. A horrifying example lies in the in-universe sitcom Living with Lily. This is a collection of short videos following Lily, her goofy dad, her loving mom, and her best friend Carmen. Already, something's up. Lily's best friend in this animated verse is Zari. So either there's two Lilies, or this is really silly for Lily. Already, we gotta ask if this Lily is operating the larger Lily as it was with Duo, or if this is a separate being. I'm gonna go with the mech suit though, because, I mean, it could be like a Neon Genesis thing where like the minds are the same and they both feel the pain. It doesn't really matter. Scary owl. Episodes are relatively simple in the premise at the very least. The family will bob for apples. The family will argue about Lily getting a tattoo. Lily has an obsession with Harry Styles. That makes sense. Lily makes a birthday wish that shrinks her parents. Okay. The family eats owl for dinner. Wait, what? Or how about the time when the mom cheated on the milkman and the dad's not her real father? What? Skibbity-doo-wahoo, this is a bastard child, and boy howdy, Duo's in on it. Maybe it's because they ate his kind, or they failed the Duolingo streak, or Duo's been infecting Lily's life and her mind, trapped at the mercy of whatever the owl desires, and it only gets worse when she finds out that none of it is real. It is all a convoluted amalgamation of the chains of her mind. Her parents aren't real. Carmen was never real. All that remains is Duolingo. And this is the moment where I thought I hit a roadblock. This was the moment where I thought this was the end of the road, where the tale of Duolingo simply became a reoccurring bit about an owl who went around and ended the lives of anyone who dare opposed his streak ideology and converted the loyalists under the covenant of the bilingual. Until the credits rolled. In the final episode of the series, some credits roll. And fellas, this is about to be the most absurd connection I've made in my career so far, but please stay with me on this one. These credits are not real. Rather, like everything else, they are lies and illusions built by Duo to hide his proper intentions. In these credits, he goes by the actor name of John Stamos, the very same one from this shitty Alice in Wonderland adaptation, among some other things I don't particularly care for. Nonetheless, Duo is a known diva. He directed the canceled reality TV show Love Language, where everyone came from different ends of the world and would have to do Duolingo lessons to communicate to each other. And apparently it was canned partway through production when nobody was hooking up with Duo to become his queen of the multi-language kingdom. And also the filming crew was uncomfortable with Duo claiming bikinis were one-time use attire. Now, of course, it seems rather peculiar that Duo, under any capacity, would identify under the alias of John Stamos, but I believe that may derive from his passion of media and desire to expand his filmography. So in order to set himself up for greatness, he idolizes John Stamos, who is of Greek origin. And using this, the Duolingo Owl is preparing for what is essentially a domination at the same level of the ancient Greeks. Consider how the knowledge of all of these languages would connect to these cultures as a result. Duo has to know about the respective histories of so many different places. And by choosing to identify under the alias of a Greek actor from Greek things, it makes too much sense that as such, Duo is practicing ancient methods in the modern day. Prime example, look at the phalanx formation. This is a military method pioneered by the ancient Greeks where individual soldiers would all uniform together into one unified legion, where militaristic leaders would unify a tightly knit group to attain their objectives. Of course, this is the only plausible thought process behind the Duolingo Owl. There is not a single other potential possibility other than a corrupted autocratic Greek leader overlaying a kind exterior when they truly are mimicking ancient Greek with strategy and mythology. I gotta be right! And we even have an explanation for the streak problem. Slavery. Disturbingly, Duo holds no value in the lives of the Duolingo users. He identifies the streaks as property, and failure for the enslaved users to comply can only result in the removal from the Empire. And then in addition, appeasing the Green Lord only results in becoming a proper citizen and losing all free will. And the way Duo knows... he knows what he's doing and what he's capable of. There's a reason why he plays into this idea of being a malevolent entity of language learning for destruction and for the lulz. He probably displays these atrocities because what are you gonna do? He has an entire spandex-wearing army along with one of the greatest PR teams of all time bending to his will. You'd think that maybe once people found out about this lifetime contract available at any age that nobody would sign it anymore, but nope! That's where the marketing masterminds come into play, proudly displaying how cool it would be to learn French and then the next day going over how Duo was responsible for a nuclear family going missing. Here's a video of Duo asexually reproducing. This played during a Super Bowl. Oh, But that's okay, because the funny owl's doing crossovers. Look, it's infecting Angry Birds, and now it's on Crunchyroll. And now it's in the gambling game for losers too scared to go to the casino. I mean, it works, you know? Look at TikTok and other application apps, and all I can say is there's a reason for the cycle of Duolingo slavery and why it's never ending. It just smothers itself across anything even remotely trending like some sort of green plague. Actually, plagues already seemed green, so I guess it's like a super plague. You like chess? Here's a chess collab. You like anime too? You loser? Ooh, right there it is, anime. It's in Barbie, you know, Barbenheimer, trendy, funny, silly owl. Your what is pink? You know, I don't even honestly really get Duolingo, and this sure isn't helping. You're out of your goddamn mind if you think I'm gonna try this app based on all this stuff being talked about. But then by publicly announcing my refusal, am I putting a target on myself? It's a good dilemma. Don't be shocked if I'm found dead within the next week. If you're anything like me and horrified of learning languages, don't be. Just of Duolingo, maybe, probably, unless you already are. I'm sorry, you might be a lost cause. It is what it is. Good way to learn. Find a show or book you've gone through in English, and this time, don't. That's all you gotta do. It's quick, it's easy. Start with the books and go up from there. You think I'm joking? It works. Now I know so many generic sentences in other languages, and I'm only partly wrong. Don't believe me? No sé por qué no lo harás. Estoy mostrando mi progreso. El parche de Duolingo es mierda. Me va bien hablando hordas idiomas sin es frado verde. It wasn't perfect pronunciation, but at least I'm getting there. I'm trying. I'm starting. Please read or watch something you already know, but in a different language. Oh my god, I think Bobo was about to speak English for the first time. Oh, big moment for everyone. Come on, buddy. Come on, you can do it. I don't know what
My color, my favorite is yellow.
Oh, I don't like that.